SPUFalcons.com here with men's soccer head coach Mark Collings. Coach, starting your 11th season as a head coach, your thoughts on the season starting?
Yeah, we're really excited. We have a great influx of new players and good balance with some older guys to help bring us along a little bit, and training's been great, and I feel like we've gotten better over the past couple of weeks, so we're excited to go down to Chico and see what happens.
You mentioned the Chico. You start the season there. First off, I guess the big question, who's to blame for opening the season with 4 straight road games against tough teams in California?
Blame's a strong word. I don't know about blame. I think it's more of, we want to play the best teams we possibly can and challenge ourselves, and and unfortunately that's the way the schedule worked out. We have 2 weekends to open on the road for non-conference play against 4 great teams, and then home for a couple, and then GNAC play. Just the way the schedule fell, we're on the road the first couple weeks as well. So it's tough to plan sometimes, but we're certainly excited about the opportunity we have ahead of us.
You bet. A lot of new faces on this year's team. How has this process gone, integrating them into the team?
It's been great. I think it really started last winter and spring. Our upperclassmen really took on the challenge, knowing that we'd have a lot of new players, and they started, I would say, really in the spring of trying to get guys to come along. Having Reed and Jake join us last winter really helped as well, and then this summer it sounds like the communication between the guys was pretty strong.
Great. You're talking about Reed Baez and Jake Ferry, of course. Among the freshmen, who can we expect to, what kind of names do you think we'll be hearing this year?
Hopefully a lot of them. Without giving away too much, I think each of them brings a little something different. Obviously a couple of them have played at a pretty high level and have already shown themselves quite well in a few of our preseason games. So I think you'll be getting to know some of the young guys pretty quickly here.
Great. You've got some holes to fill from last year, including your top 4 scorers. How are you going to fill those shoes?
Probably the same way we've done it in the past. It'll be by committee. We have Titus coming back, who we really felt like started to figure it out last year, and then unfortunately the injury cut his season off a little bit. So that will help. We've moved some guys around positionally, and so that started in the spring again. And the spring's such a big time for us, and some guys really started to establish themselves in training, and we started to see little glimpses in the games in the spring. But now, so far in our preseason, we've seen guys really starting to grab some roles here. And the nice thing is we feel like we have guys that can do it in different ways. So we have some guys with some pace, we have some guys that are good in the air, and then some crafty guys as well. And so anytime you can put that combination of players on the field, you feel pretty good about going into a game, because you have guys that are going to be able to flip the switch and maybe turn the game for us.
The other end of the field, it looks like you got a group that can keep the ball out of your own net, some returning defensive players. One of them, Alex Mejia, you used up top last year by necessity, but he's back more in his natural defender position. Talk about your back line, Alex.
Yeah. Alex, when we brought him in, we knew he could play back there, and then just with the guys that we had back there last year with Chaz and Higgs, we don't sub our backs a lot. We were trying to find Alex minutes, and so we needed a target striker with all the injuries we had, and we gave him a run, and he clearly rewarded us by scoring some big goals. That being said, now that we've lost Higgs and Chaz, we need some of that game experience that he got last year, albeit at forward, to translate into the back. So having him and then Luke and Jacob as 2 seniors that have been around and played quite a bit their first 3 years will help, and then Nick coming back for his sophomore year, and then we have a couple young guys as well that we think are ready to contribute right away.
Great. GNAC seems to be getting tougher every year. Where do you see yourselves? You were picked second by the coaches. Where do you see yourselves in that race this year?
Boy, I think it'll depend on how we come together. We certainly have the talent, and I think we have the camaraderie as a team to compete for a championship. But you just don't know. I mean, we're still a little inconsistent right now, which is probably the tough part for us. And to win championships, you got to be consistent. And so over these first few weeks, that's really what we'll be trying to do. Having the automatic qualifier that started last year changes things a little bit. So if the non-conference doesn't go as planned, we still have the league to look forward to. And so hopefully over these first few weeks, regardless of the results, we can start finding the consistency that will be needed to win the GNAC.
Real unique thing about this year, SPU is celebrating 50 years of men's soccer. You played a big part of that as a player, assistant coach, and now only the third head coach in school history. Your thoughts on honoring 50 years of this program?
It's remarkable. I mean, it really is. You know, the planning of this it's been a lot of work, but it's been a lot of fun too. Just to start talking to guys and having the excitement around the program, and of course, Cliff was a big part of this, and so having him be a part of this, and and just having the administration be excited about it, it's really cool. It's a little overwhelming at times, just to think about all the history of this program, and you start talking to guys and you hear about their memories and what this program has meant to them, well beyond the time that they've been here. It really is. It's really humbling to know that I've been a part of this, and just a small part of this. And I just can't wait to have guys back on campus and to hear more stories and have them visit with some of our current guys and talk about their experiences here and what they've gone on to do. And because ultimately that's what it's all about for us. That winning soccer games is great, but eventually, it's not about winning soccer games anymore. It's about, being a husband and a father and getting a job and going and having a greater impact on our community.
One of the unique things about soccer is international soccer, not just here in the U.S., is when teams win championships, they put a star on their gear. Do you think it's a motivator for your team when they see your current team, when they see some gear or banners and things, and there are 5 stars on there representing the 5 national championships this program has won?
Yeah, it's always interesting to look at that, because it could certainly be very intimidating. It could certainly be taken as a challenge, and for everyone that sees the SPU logo with 5 stars, it's set a standard, and so we certainly embrace the challenge of it. We're not going to shy away from it, but at the end of the day, to me, it's more, what do those stars represent? How did they get there? What were the sacrifices made to achieve those championships? And that's really what it's all about for us, because at the end of the day, we just can't completely control whether we put another star on our chest or not. But the process in which we go about, and the people that we have, and the character that they demonstrate on a day in and day out, that's the most important thing to us.
Great. Coach Collings, thanks so much, and good luck in the opener on Thursday.
Great, thanks.